Winter has arrived early across the UK, bringing a sharp drop in temperatures from Scotland to the south coast of England. A cold blast from the Arctic is sweeping south, driven by a northerly airflow and low pressure, setting the stage for unsettled wintry weather. Expect a mix of rain, sleet, and the possibility of snow, with widespread frost forming overnight. So get your de-icer ready. Daytime temperatures will struggle in the low single digits, and in the north, some areas may not rise above freezing. This is a true cold snap, not just a chilly morning, and it's here to stay for several days. Mornings will be frosty, days chilly, and nights bitterly cold. The big question, will it snow? We'll get to that soon, but for now, brace yourself for a sustained period of winter weather. The cold snap truly takes hold from Wednesday, as a mix of rain, sleet, and snow gradually clears away from the southeast. The landscape transforms, with fields and towns left glistening under a heavy wintry sky. As the precipitation moves on, a new weather pattern emerges, setting the stage for a dramatic drop in temperatures across the country. In its wake, a biting northerly wind sweeps across the UK, making it feel even colder than the thermometer suggests. People everywhere will notice the sharp chill, as gusts whip through city streets and open countryside alike, prompting everyone to bundle up and brace themselves for the days ahead. In the north, daytime temperatures may barely reach 1 or 2 degrees, and the Scottish Highlands could remain below zero all day long. The cold will be especially intense in exposed areas, with wind chill making it feel even more severe. For those living in northern towns and rural communities, it's a reminder of just how harsh a British winter can be. Wintry showers will continue to batter northern and eastern coasts, bringing a mix of sleet, snow, and icy rain. Coastal communities should be prepared for slippery conditions and reduced visibility, as showers move in from the North Sea and blanket the shoreline in a wintry mix. As Thursday night arrives, temperatures will plummet even further, bringing a hard, widespread frost across much of the country. In the Scottish Glens, the mercury could fall to -10 or even -12 degrees, creating a landscape of sparkling frost and frozen ground. It's a night for extra layers and caution on the roads. Even southern England won't escape the chill, with sub-zero starts expected for many. Commuters should be ready for icy mornings, as frost coats car windshields and pavements become slippery. Allow extra time for journeys and take care on untreated roads, as winter hazards will be widespread. Local councils will be out in force, gridding major routes to keep traffic moving, but minor roads and rural lanes could remain treacherous. It's a good idea to check travel updates before setting out and to keep warm clothing and emergency supplies in your vehicle, just in case. By Friday, the weather pattern begins to shift as Atlantic systems push in from the west. This brings increasing cloud, outbreaks of rain, and the risk of snow where moist air meets the lingering cold, especially over high ground and northern hills. The contrast between cold and milder air will create some tricky conditions. Winds will strengthen, making it feel even colder than before. Blustery conditions will add to the wintry feel, and exposed areas could see gusts strong enough to make walking difficult. It's a day to wrap up warm and take extra care if you're out and about. The weekend brings a real battle between cold air lingering over the country and milder, wetter Atlantic air pushing in from the southwest. Heavy rain will move southeast, and where it meets the cold, there's a risk of sleet or snow, especially over the hills and higher ground. Localized flooding and travel disruption are possible, so stay alert to weather warnings. Temperatures will vary widely, with the east remaining cold and frosty, while the far southwest sees a gradual rise to milder, wetter conditions. This contrast will be especially noticeable for those traveling across regions, so be prepared for changing weather as you move around the country. By Sunday, there may be early signs of a slight thaw, with temperatures nudging upwards in some areas. However, it'll still feel chilly for most, and winter coats and scarves will remain essential for anyone heading outdoors. The cold snap's grip will gradually loosen as the week draws to a close, but wintry hazards like icy patches, lingering snow, and slippery pavements will remain a concern. Stay vigilant, keep an eye on local forecasts, and take care as winter continues to make its presence felt. The UK faces a classic north-south weather divide during this cold spell. The north, Scotland, Northern Ireland and Northern England will see the lowest temperatures and the highest risk of snow, especially over hills and mountains. Daytime highs may not rise above freezing and severe frosts will be common. The south will be cold but less harsh, with sharp frosts and icy patches more likely than snow. Precipitation in the north is likely to fall as snow, while the south will see more rain or sleet. As Atlantic air pushes in, the south and west may warm up first, while the north and east stay colder, leading to complex weather patterns. The battleground between cold and mild air will shape the week's weather story. Snow is most likely over the high ground in the north, Scottish Highlands, southern uplands, Pennines and North Wales, where several centimeters could accumulate. Lower areas in the north and near coasts may see snow showers, but these will be hit and miss and unlikely to settle deeply. In the south, snow is much less likely. Most will see cold rain or sleet, with only a slim chance of a few flakes. Even a light dusting can cause disruption, especially on roads. The main hazard for many will be ice, forming quickly overnight on wet surfaces. Black ice is a real danger, so caution is needed everywhere, not just where snow is forecast. Stay alert for icy patches, regardless of your location. Forecasting snow in the UK is notoriously difficult because temperatures often hover near freezing. For snow to settle, the entire air column must be at or below zero, just a degree warmer, and it turns to sleet or rain. The UK's varied landscape complicates things further. Higher elevations are colder, so snow is more likely on hills and mountains. Weather models can disagree, with small changes in temperature making a big difference between rain and snow. Forecasters compare multiple models and use experience to judge the most likely outcome, but uncertainty remains. Snow often falls in narrow, unpredictable showers, making precise local forecasts nearly impossible. That's why you might see snow in your garden, while a nearby town stays dry. The combination of marginal temperatures, complex geography, and model differences makes snow forecasting a real challenge. Expect uncertainty and surprises when it comes to UK snow. As we move into the second week, starting around Tuesday the 25th, forecast confidence drops sharply. The weather outlook becomes much more unpredictable, with computer models struggling to agree on what's coming next. This is a classic time of year when small changes in the atmosphere can have big impacts, making it especially tricky for forecasters to pin down the details. The general trend is towards more changeable, unsettled weather, with showers, longer spells of rain, and occasional brighter periods. You might wake up to sunshine, only to see clouds and rain sweep in by afternoon. These rapid shifts are typical for late winter in the UK, and they can catch people off guard if they're not prepared. It's likely to become windier as Atlantic systems move in, bringing gusty conditions and the risk of gales, especially in exposed areas. But the big question is whether the cold will persist or milder air will take over. And that's where the uncertainty really lies. Some models keep the cold, especially in the north and east, with frosty mornings and the chance of icy patches. Others bring a gradual thaw and milder conditions, particularly in the south and west, hinting at a slow return to more typical late winter weather. The most probable outcome is a slow, messy transition, with the west and northwest seeing the most rain. Flooding could become an issue in some areas, especially where the ground is already saturated from earlier downpours. Widespread low-level snow becomes less likely, but some could still fall on high ground if rain meets lingering cold. Upland routes may see tricky travel conditions, with a mix of rain, sleet, and wet snow at times. For most, expect rain rather than snow, but uncertainty is high. Treat any long-range forecast as a general guide, not a guarantee. Local variations can be significant, so it's wise to check for updates regularly, especially if you have travel plans. Stay tuned for updates as the picture evolves, and be ready for surprises as the second week unfolds. Weather forecasts change often, not because meteorologists are guessing, but because the atmosphere is a chaotic system. Supercomputers run models using millions of observations, but tiny gaps in data can lead to big differences over time, the so-called butterfly effect. To manage this, forecasters use ensemble forecasting running models multiple times with slight tweaks to the starting data. If most runs agree, confidence is high. If not, uncertainty is high, as we're seeing for the second week. For days like Tuesday the 25th, models show wildly different scenarios, signaling low confidence. As new data comes in, Forecasts will shift and, hopefully, converge on a clearer picture. This is why the forecast narrative evolves. Uncertainty is part of the process. Stay flexible and check for updates as the situation develops. With frost and snow risks ahead, it's time to think about safety. Ice on roads and pavements will be the main hazard, especially on Thursday and Friday mornings. Allow extra time and drive carefully. Prepare your car for winter. Check tires, fluids, and keep a scraper, de-icer, and emergency kit handy. Keep your home warm, especially for vulnerable people, and check on elderly neighbors or relatives. Dress in layers, wear hats and gloves, and don't underestimate the cold. Always check the latest forecast and travel updates before setting out. Conditions can change quickly. If advised not to travel, it's best to stay put. Snow and ice can cause sudden disruptions, especially on higher routes. Remember, forecasts are a guide. Local conditions can vary, so stay informed via reliable sources. Being prepared and aware is the best way to stay safe and warm this winter. To sum up, the UK is bracing for a significant cold snap this week, with a dramatic shift in weather patterns that will be felt across the country. The arrival of Arctic air means that many regions will experience a sharp drop in temperatures, making this one of the coldest spells so far this season. Daytime highs will struggle to rise above freezing in some areas, and overnight lows will plunge well below average, leading to widespread frosts and icy conditions on roads and pavements. The highest risk of snow is over high ground in Scotland and northern England, where accumulations could be enough to cause travel disruption and delays. Even lower levels may see a dusting, especially during heavier showers. For most, especially in the south, snow is unlikely. Cold rain, sleet, and ice are the main hazards. Commuters should be cautious, as slippery surfaces and reduced visibility could make journeys hazardous. The outlook for next week is highly uncertain, with forecasters watching closely to see how the situation develops. There's a lot of speculation about whether the cold will linger, or if a change is on the horizon. Weather models are currently disagreeing on how quickly milder Atlantic air will take over, and whether it will bring rain, further snow, or a brief thaw before more cold returns. The key is to be prepared for definite cold and ice now, as these are the immediate threats. Take extra care when heading out, and make sure to check on vulnerable neighbors or family members. Stay tuned for updates as the forecast evolves. Meteorologists are monitoring the situation around the clock, and new information could change the outlook quickly. The ongoing battle between cold and mild air will shape our weather story, creating uncertainty and the potential for sudden changes. As we get closer to the weekend and into next week, the forecast will become clearer and more reliable, helping everyone plan ahead. For now, wrap up warm, watch for ice, and take sensible precautions when venturing outdoors. Keep an eye on the latest updates. Winter is here, its stay is just beginning, and there are still many twists and turns in the forecast yet to come.